So as I was saying that I just uploaded an image. Sorry, my recording software got disconnected. And so I can just assume that I'll have one image for this job. You can scan maybe 30 cards or 100 cards, just depending on what you want to do. And so from then on, I just say process the job. And what happens is Capricity works with templates. These are the templates under my account. I sort of have named them in a not very fashionable way, but I know them. So this is the front page of the blue card and the back page. So I can select two templates to use that for the MOH and submit selected templates. So one of the bigger learning curves for using Capricity is just configuring the templates and testing them. So as you can see, the job has been initiated, and so this takes some time before not so much time. Most of my turnarounds has been in a few hours. Of course, you can imagine a site for 100,000 cards would definitely take some more time, but immediately the computer starts shredding and then the data is presented to micro workers for verification. So which means in a site for maybe approximately 1,000 cards can take 2 days to turn around. So once you're done with your first migration, which necessarily you don't have to do if you just have CSV data, the next big step is this button called the data export. And you can see some of my testing work that I've been doing. And here you can just start a new export. And you can say export first migrant. So at this point, of course, our Capricity job is not ready. It's gonna be shown in the next video about how to do a complete Capricity job. But once you upload it into the system, all it does is shreds the data. It's availed as a CSV, so you can actually go direct and download CSV file of your shredded data. So just FYI, I'm not using real patient data. We de-identified these cards for testing purposes. And so if I log in onto my Capricity account, just to give you a sense of what goes on and the linkage. So if you doubted previously, you can see we have these two new jobs that were created using the two templates, and they have one image set, and they were just uploaded on the 25th at around 10. So this is the first page and this is the second page. If we select any of these pages, you can see it's just ready for submission. You can see images. So it shows that I already have two images selected to that file. And this is my template, as you can see. So the purpose of this task is just to show you where my previous jobs, so these are two of the jobs. I already know that like this is the back page for the MOH blue card, and the front page will be the just labeled a bit wrong right now. So if I have like this task, this job for the MOH blue card, which is already completed, you can see this is the data that showed up. This was the naming of the files that we had. We have almost 13 patients on this. You can see the letter, if you know the blue card, that this is mainly the letter, the dates, and then the fields. And sort of, if you look at the original blue card, this represents encounters. Every column represents an encounter. And you have the unique patient identifier there. So these columns were pretty much blank for most of the people, and these are impossible to decipher. We'll have a different video that compares the accuracy, and you can see side by side. And you can actually, so at this is the most important button where you can download your data as a CSV and then progress with it. So that's just a completed job. So I'll say my first migrant is testing the first migration, and I'll use a file that I already downloaded from that job to show you this. Sort of not take all the time. So I know this is in a dataset file, and we are exporting the front 5013, and you can see my two servers for data. My local server is this. I'm viewing the classic OpenMRS view, not with the UI that characterizes Kenya Captricity. Kenya OpenMRS, sorry. And so I'll use my local instance. So this step takes a while just because it downloads your concepts into the local dictionary application so that you're able to search and map, which is a little intense for the first time. Now, the first step here is to divide your sections as either observations or demographics. So this assumes that you have a little bit of knowledge in OpenMRS. So let's look at some of the few elements. So like age would be a demographic element. Patient names falls under demographics. Family name is a demographic element. Date of birth to something like sex will be demographic, and you can see the cohort district. So for you, it's just to figure out where you wanna do this. So height, weight is concept, and so you can keep mapping everything. So these are just basically the rows that were on your CSV document, and that's the same whether it's a Captricity or a local upload. So then you can complete your mapping. You can select where you want this to go to, choose Eskenazi and HIV, an old identification number. So to map demographic elements, you need to create a person with the fields gender, given name, and family name. So we know age is age. Let's treat this as the given name, and family name, and date of birth, it's a birthday, and the sex is gender. Okay, and so we can map our demographic details. We had one concept that we mapped as concept. So patient weight. Not so sure if all my concepts downloaded into the dictionary. So I can just use a concept that I know is earlier on in the system, hemoglobin. So this is mapped to hemoglobin, which clearly is not right, but the concept is correct. Then you can choose to view your analysis or map your complete concept. So if we quickly glance at analysis, it's not very pretty right now. So we are able to see all the rows with missing data and how many elements are missing. So like when you look at facility name, it's missing in 5 of the rows. If you look at the first clinic, the patient clinic, how many rows are missing a unique patient. So you sort of get your sense from your row count here. And so all of them have patient names, all of them have family names, you know, eligibility criteria is missing in all actually. And so just by looking at this, you can have a sense of what data is there. Of course, this will be better displayed in a graph so that it looks a little prettier. You can see what elements we want to map. And so the number of rows that cannot be exported just simply refers to those rows that miss the minimum uh, data required to export data into an OpenMRS using REST. And it's not showing right now, but we have also a mapped concept, so you can just go through and see how you map them. So we go back, we can say complete concept mappings, and we go back to our first test. You can see our export migrant. So that's sort of like a summary of what the data migrant does. If we come back here to my console, it sort of logs everything. You can see we had 5 rows in that data set that got exported, and you can see these are the REST messages about creating a person, a patient, and the encounter. And so this patient gets an ID. Sorry, I'm sure this is hurting your eyes. You can see our old OpenMRS ID is empty. M5722. And so if we come back to my OpenMRS, the classic way is you can find or create patient. So you can see this patient got created here, M5722. And there's an encounter that was just created right now on the 26th. And if you select that, you're able to see that this hemoglobin got a value of 83. So that's how it sort of works. And it was a HIV encounter, super user, and we remember we selected the location as Eskenazi. And so yeah. So what's coming up is just more advanced user preferences, like when you want to create more better visualizations for your coded concepts, and sort of just making this helpful. So we hope that this, once you just have a look at it, you can quickly say, well, this data is too dirty for us to export, and if not, it's an easy way to just get data a little bit clean, in a clean fashion, into an OpenMRS instance. So the next videos will be more specific to concept mapping, and there's some of the issues that will be raised by other users. Thank you.